Tired of getting stomped in Counter-Strike 2 by the hands of tryharding sweatlords, cheaters and boosters, or because you just suck? Ever dreamed about being the protagonist of one of those sick 1v5 clutch montages, but you never had the skills to do so? Well, then, the official Counter-Strike campaign lets you become the one-man army the world needs, and it was specifically designed for people with bad internet connections or players with bad hands-to-eye coordination, just like you. Even though I love this campaign, back when it released in late March 2004, it was met with mixed reviews. The main problem was that nobody really cared about this Gold SRC based game, when Counter-Strike Source and Half-Life 2 were right around the corner with all those amazing physics and graphics. I feel like the only reason Condition Zero sold a bunch of copies was because it included the Counter-Strike Source beta. The main culprit for Condition Zero to be released this late comes down to its troubled development. 4 different yet competent studios were engaged by Valve to develop this single-player campaign, which could have really become an FPS classic had it been released earlier and with a more coherent vision to all the missions. However, the first studio, Rogue Entertainment, began development in the year 2000, but in 2001 they dropped the project because they made a deal with Sony. Freaking traitors. Then came Gearbox, which had already mastered the Gold SRC engine after developing Opposing Force and Blue Shift, and in fact most of the updated textures, weather effects and shiny new props are credited to them. However, Gabe didn't like their vision for the single player, and neither do I, cause it's pretty much what we got in the Condition Zero single player package. Offline matches with bots with objectives like kill 5 players with an AWP, which is not that exciting. So in July 2002, Gearbox left and the project was shifted to Ritual Entertainment, the guys from Sin, who actually made the proper single player missions, and in fact most of the content in Counter-Strike Deleted Scenes was developed by them. Ritual was very focused in adding scripted events and cinematic moments to make this campaign feel epic. However, Gabe still felt like the campaign was too fragmented and definitely not up to Valve's high standards. Therefore, it was only included as a bonus game in the Condition Zero package, and so it's called Deleted Scenes, cause Valve wanted to delete these missions out of shame. However, in my opinion, this campaign is pretty fun and it's a little diamond in the rough. Let's find out why. First of all, Deleted Scenes represents Gold SRC at its peak, and that's because it sports a great variety of environments, factions and classic reskinned Counter-Strike weapons. Too broke to travel around the world? Just download Condition Zero Deleted Scenes and choose your low-resolution destination for your holidays. Ever dreamed about visiting a welcoming drag lab in Colombia's capital, Bogota? You can do that for free, but make sure to escort a bunch of hostages on the way. Do you love anime and always wished to travel to Japan? This game will give you the chance to fly to your favorite country and even harass young Asian girls to the point of making them nervous, just like in real life.
Could you leave me alone? You're starting to make me nervous.
Did you always wish to shoot at the American flag to make fun of the land of Hamburger? Well, you actually really can't.
Targets are holed up somewhere near the King Kebab restaurant.
Find these bastards and flush them out. Get inside and locate.
This game is divided in 12 main missions, and it's not like these missions have a storyline. They just play in succession when you press a new game. And 4 bonus extra missions, which are actually really good. What's interesting is that one of these bonus missions, Fastline, has got a very cool intro where you're riding on a Japanese tram with your bros, approaching hot Asian girls and even sitting next to them when a flashbang pops. Great, it always ends up like this. Terrorists show up and all hell breaks loose. This cinematic sequence works wonderfully to set the stage for Counter-Strike Condition Zero Deleted Scenes, and I just don't know why it doesn't play as the first mission of the campaign. In Fastline, we merrily explore the Shinkana subway station with a 5.7 and a riot shield, useless in multiplayer but pretty handy in the single player campaign. We pop a bunch of Akunin terrorist heads here and there until we reach the boss of this criminal organization, who will die in a very elegant way by falling inside a small pool, probably a reference to Scarface. Oh, and the sweet ladies we met on the subways are now safe and are thanking you for your valiant effort. Only God knows what happens after the screen fades to black. This was just a bonus mission though. In fact, I feel like Valve decided to put Recoil as the first mission of the campaign cause it takes place somewhere around the Middle East, and you know, Counter-Strikes and maps located in Arabic countries are like Gordon Freeman and his crowbar, inseparable. What are the highlights of this first mission of this campaign? So, it begins with a comfortable crash landing cause that's how every war game has to start out. Turns out that the noise from the explosion of your chopper has attracted quite the crowd of terrorists ready to give you a warm welcome. This guy just wants to give you a hug, he's no kamikaze. Luckily, our trusty M4A1 is still intact, and what a pleasure it is to use this classic Counter-Strike weapon in a single player campaign. Perfect for performing hat-tricks on the local population. After managing to navigate around these folkloristic houses, we have to meet Sniper Cheddington. Be careful not to shoot him on sight though, cause it can happen. Also guys, one peculiar aspect about Condition Zero deleted scenes is that every character has followed standard mewing guidelines for their entire lives, and that's why they all have jawlines stronger than their biceps. After escorting the sniper inside the sniper tower so he can do his sniper stuff there, he tells us to take a look at the evacuation point to check if it's still hot. Of course, it's hotter than the sun, and by this point we already found a MG60 and a Desert Eagle along our path, and oh boy, do these weapons feel heavy. Anyways, your dumbass sniper friend gets captured, so you have to save his ass and you will meet him in a very battered and fucked up state. I always feel sorry for him every time I see him. Bring him back to the chopper and become both a war hero and a survivor of an horrible plane crash. Victory! The second mission is called Lost Cause, just like my mom likes to call me. There is a little bit of stealth to perform around a sleeping guerrilla warfare guard. I know that every player's first instinct is to kiss him on the cheek, but don't do that or you will get spotted. Just pick up the torch and open the lock blocking your way. Time to use the other two gadgets at our disposal, and both the fiber optic camera and the chunky ass phone look so early 2000s, it's insane. Also, we gotta use both gadgets on the same spot, which is quite an awkward design choice that always gets me lost in this section. Finally, it's time for some action, cause the guerrilla warfare probably heard you crying for help on the phone like a little bitch. However, when it's time to fight, watch your steps.
Achtung, be careful!
Cause yeah, there are trip mines and are barely visible unlike the Half-Life 1 ones. Screw this level. After managing to kill all the shotgun-wielding enemies lurking at every corner, we finally get to the pier, but
Oh, Richard!
yeah, beware of the M72 law, cause in Condition Zero, it's the gaming equivalent of bottomless pits. Dispatch these campers, call your allies and they will pick you up with a sleek looking motorboat, a prop never seen before in Gold SRC but quite a visual treat for gold SRC lovers like myself. This mission is a bit of a slog, but the two next missions are quite iconic. In the third mission, called Secret War, we can experience in first person the vain attempt of our Chad the General to enter a high security facility with a simple passcode. Of course, it doesn't work.
And my security code isn't working. Yuri.
So our boy Yuri straight up uses a bomb. Plenty of solid shooting occurs inside this neat-looking facility, up until we plant a bomb to stop the launch of a nuclear bomb. I see, we are fighting fire with fire here. Quite a questionable tactic if you ask me, but in video games, just like in real life, it's better to question nothing and just do what you're told. So our general sacrifices his life and jawline to protect the bomb from the fawning terrorists that want to defuse it.
I'm going to detonate the bombs from here and make sure nobody disarms these bombs. Go!
Goodbye, brother, you served Mother Russia well. After our cinematic escape from the big explosion, a chopper chases us down and it's our pleasure to shoot it down. Yeah, pretty epic mission, it felt like playing Call of Duty 4, well, a budget version of it. The fourth mission is called Building Recon, and it features an exciting stealth section. Stealth in Counter-Strike Condition Zero is janky. If the enemies aren't fully showing their backs, it's better not to move. Also, the MP3 volume of their voice lines when they spot you is kinda broken, cause it's just too loud.
I've known you for 6 years.
Мне кажется, я что-то слышал оттуда.
And it's funny how they speak Russian when they catch you, but talk in English during the dialogues between each other. And these dialogues are one of the highlights of the mission, cause they are very funny and show the goofy side of the Arctic Avengers.
It's cold. Absolutely. My hands are freezing. I hope nobody tries to get in this place. I don't think I could pull the trigger with these fingers.
No problem. We could always throw icicles at an intruder.
This comedic relief is very needed, cause crawling around at snail speed gets old fast. This mission objective is to play the paparazzi part and take a snap of the nuclear warhead at the official Arctic Avengers inauguration party. Since drawing attention from all countries was the main objective of the leader, the British SAS will give them the attention they deserve. One bullet, one like. The action part of this mission begins here, and the best part about it is that your arsenal comprehends the sacred Counter-Strike trio, M4, AK and Deagle, so fighting through the street of northern Russia had never been this fun. The final part takes place inside a church. A perfect place to murder a terrorist leader and defuse a bomb. At least you will get a sanctified burial. I deploy a smoke cause I'm a professional. As showcased from this mission, you can already sense that Condition Zero deleted scenes is rich of cinematic and exciting moments, and I can't help but feel like this campaign could have been as celebrated as Call of Duty 4 had Valve put more trust in ritual entertainment. Most of these missions are just as good as the previous ones, and only a handful of them are mediocre or bad. The next mission, Drug Lab, is a mediocre one, cause the most exciting part about it is the table with bags of coke on top of it. In Drug Lab, we only really have to save a couple of hostage. We can watch a teammate blow himself up with a mine, cause his gas mask was probably limiting his vision, and then we have to destroy a bunch of equipment. Also, we are armed with the M3 shotgun, which sucks like in the multiplayer. Next up is the Venice level, Motorcade Assault. This time we are the one holding on to a M72 law, and when our German general calmly shouts at us,
Hit the lead vehicle now! Now! Hit them now!
well, we must fire. The explosions wake the whole town up, and so it's time to put our bullpup to good use. This Golden Sea depiction of Venice might not be accurate, but it's still breathtaking in a retro sense. Instead of finding our Juliet, we need to locate the VIP, and this retard is standing still inside a room full of explosive, probably too drunk to notice the small crack on the glass. A crate of grenades is providentially positioned next to the window, so you know what you gotta do.
I'm retarded?
Assassinating the VIP in such a cheesy way will never cease to make me smile, and although Ritual could have come up with a better idea, I prefer this to any other better alternative. This Counter-Strike campaign is full of cheeky moments. For example, in the next and 7th mission, we have to fight an airplane with an AWP. Sure, it's completely unrealistic and the fight is mediocre at best, but this little boss fight manages to be memorable anyways. The cheesiest moment in the game though takes place in the 8th mission. The enemies catch us with toxic gases since they couldn't do so with bullets, and we end up in prison. Of course, as hopeless as the situation may seem, when you're thrown weaponless inside a video game jail, you already know there must be a way out. In fact, behind a breakable wall lies a knife, and if we beat at the door too many times, we will annoy the Argentinian guard that speaks perfect German for some mysterious reasons.
Auf! Ihr wollt wohl, dass ich reinkomme! Das reicht!
And this guard will want to fight us. Little does he know, he will get a sharp surprise to his neck. Cool section. In the 9th mission, Hangakai, you can explore these lively Japanese shops and even get brutally rejected by cute Asian chicks.
Leave me alone. You're starting to make me nervous. Could you leave me alone? You're starting to make me nervous.
Little does she know that she's about to get kidnapped and you will be her Prince Charming that will put a bullet to the terrorist's head holding her at gunpoint. All you get is a thank you, but we still don't know what happens after the screen fades to black.
Thank you.
Good job, operations. That sniper's out for the count.
The 10th mission is called Turn Off the Crank, and it's one of the best in the game. It starts off in a very interesting way. You are part of a SWAT team working to catch the Californian kingpin Moses Sepulveda. You will also be the frontman of this setup operation, cause this mission starts with a big suitcase as your primary weapon. This suitcase doesn't only contain a fat stack of money, but it also transmits a signal to the assault team when opened. So as soon as Moses Sepulveda opens the bag, your SWAT friends storm in.
Ah, this looks good. In return, I'll gladly provide you with some of my quality products.
Unfortunately, he manages to escape, so we have to fight our way through Californian back alleys and a warehouse that kinda resembles an A map. After ruthlessly murdering plenty of lowlives, you will get to his hideout where it's your duty to put a bullet in his head. Beware of the final explosion though, or you will get the neutral ending. The 11th mission, Alamo, is the one where you can shoot the American flag and save a couple of hotties who will in exchange swoon you with compliments.
You're very handsome. Thank you for saving my life.
If you're a gamer deprived of affection, Condition Zero does wonders. On to the final mission, Rise Hard. The rain is pouring from the Belfast skies, which is probably the usual weather there, but you know how during every final mission there must be a storm or some rain involved, and so in Rise Hard, a group of political radicals has taken control of a huge high-rise building, and of course the big bad guy is threatening the whole world with a nuke. After killing our way to the top, with the obligatory Goldduster Sea elevator shaft area where we can learn how to fly, we get ambushed. We wake up face to face with the boss, who challenges us to a knife battle, which seems to be one of Britain's favorite pastime. Of course, this alcoholic looking dude is no match for our combat knife, and so he runs away. We will meet him later, and just like in any other action movie, this guy takes his time to detonate the nuke. So while he's busy playing the villain role, we have time to pick up the pipe bombs, place them, retreat to a safe place, and detonate them to make our friend go meet his maker. I'm aware that this final fight, just like the previous one against bosses, might not showcase genial boss fight design, but I love them nonetheless, cause they are cheesy to the point of becoming a comical vignette. All things considered, Counter-Strike Deleted Scenes will forever be a solid first-person shooter, purely by the virtue of featuring the original Counter-Strike shooting mechanics, which never gets old, and in fact Counter-Strike is still thriving to this day. What isn't thriving though is the idea of a single-player campaign for Counter-Strike. And the main reason Condition Zero didn't succeed is first and foremost to be attributed to its outdated graphics. And I bet that Valve knew that a 6-year-old engine would have turned this campaign into a commercial failure, and no amount of extra polishing or better in-game narration could have saved this Counter-Strike campaign from receiving mixed reviews. And this is why Valve just decided to publish Counter-Strike Condition Zero Deleted Scenes as bonus content, and so we need to consider ourselves lucky that we actually got something. This campaign is fun, but it can't be considered a classic in its current state. I still wish Valve had put more effort into the single player experiment, cause I really think it could have anticipated Call of Duty 4 if a bit more effort was put into the story, the character's personality, and in slightly improving the missions. Also, 20 years later, instead of hating on the low polygons of the Half-Life engine, retro gamers like us appreciate it even more. And so it's a shame that because of the old graphics, Valve stopped caring about this project. So guys, what are your thoughts on the Deleted Scenes campaign? Do you think it could have been a commercial success if it was released earlier? I don't know about you, but Valve is still in time to create a Counter-Strike campaign, and I would love to play it. I think it can definitely work and be successful. Not like selling knife and skins, but yeah. Anyways, like and subscribe if you like the video, guys.